Hello, Michael Lapede here, giving you the new business tips on contractors doing bookkeeping. What are some of the best practices as a subcontractor to do your bookkeeping? And this is a two-part series as well. Effective bookkeeping is really vital for any business. And when you're a subcontractor or you're a contractor of any sort, you technically have your own business, right? You are self-employed, but it's almost the same as being a business owner of a very small business, okay? You want to make sure you keep up with things to stay compliant with tax authorities and know where your finances are at, know what's going on. It's very important, just like any other business. Here are some best practices. Number one, we've been saying this a lot in the last little while because people are messing this up again and again, is separate your personal and business finances, please. Two separate entities, two separate things, separate bank accounts, separate credit cards, separate payments. You don't pay for things on behalf of one another. You separate. If the company needs money, you put money in. If you need to pull money out, you pull money out. You don't pay for expenses on behalf or receive income on behalf of one another. They're completely separate, and make sure that you do avoid mixing funds. Okay? Number two, track income and expenses consistently. So find a way that you can simply track things, recording all your income. Do you have invoices? Are you doing invoices? Is it payments in a bank account? How are you tracking the income? And how are you categorizing the expenses? What type of expense you have? You probably don't have a ton of different types of expenses as a contractor, but you have some and you need to categorize those. Okay? And make sure, just like any business owner, you save all your receipts and paperwork. You're a business. You must save those records. Number three, use bookkeeping software. We talked about this, automating the process, using QuickBooks Online, Wave, and FreshBooks, etc. There's a number, Xero, etc. It'll streamline. You could do invoicing out of there, and you could do expense tracking, reporting out of there, okay? You can integrate your accounts. You can link your bank account to upload automatically into there and code things, right? You could choose software that maybe works on your phone if that's what you like, and so forth. Number four is stay on top of your tax obligations. The amount of subcontractors that get themselves in trouble because they were used to being an employee and then they came in as a subcontractor and they're excited and making all this money now, but they're not dealing with taxes and putting aside money for taxes and so forth. So set aside money for taxes. 20, 25, 30% depending on your situation. You're putting aside money for taxes, GST, etc. Track tax deductible expenses as well. Log eligible deductions such as home office. Make sure we get home office, vehicle, all those types, cell phone, all those types of things. We want to make sure we keep those and we get those records and we write them off. You can also pay quarterly tax as you get going, to pay your installments as you go. And number five, reconcile your accounts regularly. We have a whole series on reconciling. You can go back to that series. Compare your bookkeeping records with your statements to make sure everything is reconciled. Bank accounts, credit cards, suppliers, vendors, customers, etc. Very important. Resolve any mismatches promptly to maintain accurate financial records. And in the next video, we'll go into the next ones in part 2. Thanks for being a part of our business tips, and we'll see you then.